Hi, I am Julie Hill-Lynn with 11 Marketing Consulting, and welcome to the webinar today on being flexible and strategic during unexpected times. How do we pivot our business? This is certainly unexpected times, so hopefully this webinar will be timely for you to hopefully give you some ideas on how to navigate your business moving forward through these times, or even in future times when things can unexpectedly happen. A little bit about me. I grew up in Brighton. My parents still live there. I started out my very first sales career job at WHMI in Howell in radio sales. I moved on to Detroit radio. Then I sold cinema advertising for about 17 years, then moved into cable television and digital ad sales. In the meantime, my husband and I started a brand for him in 2011. He is a restaurateur, culinary instructor, executive chef, and he wanted to launch a brand where he could teach culinary skills and recipes to people. We launched a YouTube channel called Fortune Cooking, and I helped develop that brand really from its infancy, from the name of it to its logo, to where it is today with multiple social media platforms, and it even evolved into a food truck business. And I had found in that process how much I was really enjoying it, how passionate I became about it, and the creativity and thinking outside the box and the strategy and all of the components involved. So when I started 11 Marketing Consulting in June of this year, it was really taking my 30 years of media sales experience, marketing experience, and with all the things that I had done with him with the branding and social media, and then finding the need with small to mid-sized business owners who really didn't know how to market their business or really understand their brand strategy, nor did they really have the time to do it. So hence, here we are, and I am absolutely loving the work that I'm doing. I'm working with many businesses, multiple categories, and chambers of commerce, and it's just been wonderful to be able to contribute in this type of way to the business owners. So that's a little bit about me, and let's tell you about 11, who we are. We specialize in sorting out the complexity among the various marketing technology components. So that's online, offline, social, mobile, digital, advertising, branding, and more. So we bring all of these disciplines to the table with our combined 40 years in advertising and marketing experience and integrate the solutions to a problem. So every strategy and plan we have is literally custom created for you. And I do have a team of people that work for me, so that's where that 40 years of experience comes into play. Our core capabilities, as you can see here, are really social media, branding, advertising, so that media planning and buying, content marketing, digital strategy, and we even do event marketing. So in this webinar, we will cover things like pivoting your business, thinking outside the box, reinvention, advertising, e-commerce, social strategy, and more. So this is really a critical time, and in order to keep, maintain, and succeed your business or service, we really must be pivoting. Why? Why? Through all the challenges and struggles caused by the coronavirus pandemic, there's been an outpouring of care, creativity, and innovation. So artists, for example, have moved their performances and pieces online, wowing audiences and helping them through periods of anxiety and stress. Businesses have found new ways to thrive, changing direction by reaching new audiences or offering new products at speeds that would have seemed impossible even 6 months earlier. And you can be a part of this change. If you've reached a crossroads where you need to pivot to survive, know that the challenges you face can help you grow your business, and you can come out on the other side stronger than ever. First is thinking outside the box. This is really fun. I love this part of the webinar. How to deliver convenient interactions across the entire customer journey. And here are 7 tips for pivoting your business during, well, times of maybe pandemics or other challenges that you may have faced. So first, see how your target audience has changed. And so through all the challenges and struggles caused by this, businesses have found new ways to thrive, changing direction by reaching new audiences or even offering new products or services that would have seemed impossible. And you can be a part of this change and evolution and how you're moving your business forward. So During this period, you may need to conduct a firsthand research to understand your audience. So any data before 2020 will likely be outdated, obviously, because this year has been an unusual year. So your customers' behaviors and things that they would have done before probably changed drastically. And so you're going to need to take time to actually learn what your customers are doing and what they're feeling like during this time and what their needs are. The next thing you can do is actually look at industry trends and watch key innovators. So, you know, thousands of companies are obviously scrambling right now and they're making changes. So other people in your industry are probably pivoting and making changes too. So go ahead and check out what those brands are doing or what your competitors are doing and see if you can follow their lead and maybe come up with something similar with your products or services. So for example, if your target audience is a subscription service, for example, you know, could your restaurant sell recipe kits, for example, subscribe to this recipe kit for the home cook? There's a lot of that going on. So that's really thinking outside the box. And it's really taking that business model and see what works with what your customer needs are now. You can also start with temporary products or services. So you're seeing sometimes pop-up shops happening. So for example, if you're thinking about maybe launching a different part of your business or service or new product line, but you don't want to fully commit to it, do a temporary pop-up shop for that and see if it's something that may make sense for now. So using a very simple example is you know, hand sanitizer. You know, hand sanitizers were popping up all over the place. And so, for example, if you are an essential oil place or some place that does toiletries and you create your own, you know, it's probably going to be temporary, but what a way to market a new product, even though it might be temporary. Another example of that might be outdoor seating or the igloos that restaurants are doing. So those are probably going to be temporary during these times. The other thing you're going to want to do is, and I know it can be challenging, but create a budget that's specifically for innovation. So setting aside some money to say, okay, I'm going to take this money and I'm going to just separate it out and really dedicate that to make innovation or what product or service can I do during this time, and just really reserving that budget and utilizing it that way. You can also encourage employees to take risks. So, you know, once you have this innovation budget, lean into your staff and see if they can help you, you know, market your business. Maybe, you know, get them involved in, you know, maybe some videos or having their own strategy, or maybe doing some Twitter content, or, you know, even how can they market what you're doing to their friends in that audience? So really, you know, leaning into those people around you and asking for help. Another thing is don't bank on future timelines. So if there's one thing consistent in 2020, it's that you never know what's going to happen. And most people thought this pandemic would probably be over by the summer, and still hope that it would pass by the new year. But however, we cannot even guarantee that, and we can't look to a specific timeline and even plan around it. So looking ahead, you should already develop contingency plans and backup options to make it through the worst case scenario. And now's a great time for your business to pivot, only because you can create what is a new normal and grow your sales in a manner that you can control. So the goal of this change is to add stability to your business instead of waiting for the pandemic to pass. And one of the things I've heard from my business owners is they have some new business models that they're actually going to be incorporating in the long term. And had it not been for this pandemic or change of circumstances, they would have never been forced to look outside their box. They would have stayed really in their safe space and done business as usual. And so business owners have found a way to really go in a different direction that will become part of their long-term plan. And the other thing is, know that your loyal customers want to support your brand. So if you have built up a strong customer base and a large amount of community support over the years, know that these people do want to help you and they want to continue supporting your business and will likely be excited about the changes that you have in store for them. And so your top customers also will want to try out any new products or services that you may have and want to share with them or even other people. So yes, pivoting can be a risk, but You will do this for the benefit of your customers. And what you'll find is that they will return to support you even more so probably, because, you know, look, if you've taken care of your customers, they're going to want to take care of you. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is some examples of some businesses that have pivoted or thought outside the box. So here's the first example, and this is a local realtor, and what he is doing is Facebook Live. So he's in front of a house that is listed, and he's going to go live on Facebook and do a walkthrough of that house. So I thought this was a really great idea for the real estate category. And the other thing I've seen a lot of is the virtual home tours, virtual open houses, social media, really creative social media posts, and just really highlighting these properties through a lot of video content. Buying a home is really visual. If you can't get out to see homes like you used to be able to do, you know, it's really inviting people in to see these properties. The next is retail, and here is a clothing store, and they go Facebook Live multiple times a week. So as they get new products in, they'll actually launch a Facebook Live and do a fashion show or show their new products or services. Another thing that they're doing is a delivery service. So if you see something on this Facebook Live that you'd like to purchase, you can call them directly and order it, and they can offer it to you, or you can even do curbside pickup. And then another thing that I'm seeing retailers do is really upping up their game when it comes to, and this may sound small, but it means a lot, is gift wrapping bags, or how do they package it to send it home with you? So, you know, just taking it up a notch in how you wrap and send those things home. The next one is fitness. Now, this has been a huge category shift. And some interesting statistics is that 73% of consumers are using pre-recorded video to do their workouts. And live streaming classes also. Yoga has become more popular than ever because it's a non-contact exercise. And 46% surveyed said that after, you know, the pandemic's over and this is all over, that they will continue to utilize these resources and changes that fitness and health places have made. So definitely those virtual classes have become huge, or where you can just do click-on-demand exercise classes. Another one, health and wellness. So a lot of us utilize this, and if you haven't, it's a great way to go. But telemedicine or telehealth, they have apps for it, or if you can go to a website through your insurance carrier, it's a great way to get medical attention for minor things. Obviously, if it's major, you know, you're going to want to go to your doctor or an urgent care or emergency room. And then another thing is you're really seeing a shift towards having home health care or home health aides versus assisted living, because again, these people can stay in their homes. And then finally, with this one, you've seen a lot of this is that drive-through testing for COVID. And finally, one last example, and this one's near and dear to my heart because this is the Fortune Cooking brand. And a lot of what we have done with our food truck has been events in the past. And obviously all those events got canceled this spring and summer. And so what did we do? We pivoted and found neighborhoods that had invited us in to sell other neighborhoods on certain days. And what it turned out to be is just a wonderful opportunity for people to come to the food truck, get their carryout, have it at their doorstep within minutes. They're eating their food hot, and it was safe. They followed all the safety protocols. And as you can see here, you know, the innovation was such that a couple of the TV news networks actually highlighted what the Fortune Cooking brand was doing. For restaurants, again, you can utilize QR codes, outdoor seating, pre-ordering the meals, doing delivery service, whether it's you deliver it yourself. It's a great way to keep some of your staff employed, or utilizing services such as DoorDash. And then also another one, offer virtual cooking classes. It's just a thought, but if you have a fantastic chef, it's a great way to highlight what they're doing in the kitchen and keep people interested in in your restaurant or food service. The next thing is CRM. So what is that? Customer Relationship Management System. And what this does, I utilize it. It's basically a place to house all of your customer base. So it's to build and maintain strong, loyal relationships with your customers and prospects. It allows you to monitor your interactions with your customers and prospects, which means that the team will always know where you are with a customer or a lead, what they want, and the next stages within a sales pipeline. There's a variety of CRMs. Salesforce is a popular one, Thrive, HubSpot, Fresh Sales, Pipedrive, etc. And so what it can do, the one that I use in particular is called Thrive, and it's perfect for my business. It maintains all of my customer base, but it also maintains all my leads. And once I convert a lead into an actual client, it automatically switches them over in my pipeline and it converts it over for me. It also can do email marketing for me. Within 2 minutes, I can have an email marketing campaign set up. I can do texting campaigns. It'll even know, for example, it aligns with social media. So if I want to do a social media post, it can literally, I do one on the CRM and it blasts it out to all of my platforms. So I highly recommend, if you don't have a CRM or if you have a CRM that's just not utilizing it to the best capabilities, some of the benefits are improved customer satisfaction levels, increased revenue, streamlining your sales pipeline, and then efficient internal communication. Payment methods. So this has really become significant in these times because a lot of people are wanting to go touchless and using their devices. And so this is really important for you to have right now. If you haven't already altered how you're taking payment methods, please hone in on this one. These processes are as important to the customers as they are to you. And these final stages of the customer experience, and more specifically the payment process, greatly shapes their overall opinion of you and your business. So as global technology continues to advance, the payment methods available to every business are increasing. So no longer are cash and check the most popular choices when paying for a meal, a new pair of shoes, jeans, or anything else for that matter. And so I'm just going to kind of go through some of the payment methods for you and hopefully answer any questions you might have or educate you a little bit on some of the things that are out there. So payment terminals, so countertops. So these are basically the plugged in terminals that you have. And this makes great for places that are open 24/7, like gas stations, for example. And countertop terminals are probably your safest bet if you're looking for a steady and reliable payment terminal. Contactless terminals, huge increase in this. And the popularity of these contactless card payments has increased dramatically, obviously, in recent years and months. And more and more banks install contactless chips, those chips on the credit and debit cards. So today, over 100 million contactless transactions are being made each month. So the technology offers an incredibly quick and easy way to pay for anything. And while more and more businesses are adopting them, there are still businesses that stick to more traditional payment terminals. That's okay. But if you want to move your business forward, you got to hop on board. Mobile card machine. So depending on the type of business you're running, having the payment terminal in one fixed place may not be the best option. So for example, if a restaurant and you are open and dining, these are the ones that are transportable. So you can actually move them, give them to the server, and they can actually take them to the table, and all the transaction can be done right there. Online payment. Obviously, this is significant, especially if you're switching into e-commerce. So depending on the type of business you run, an online payment process could be even more important than a physical one. So here, credit and debit cards. This is the most popular choice by many people, hands down. So if you're running a business that both relies on online payment and accepts orders from all over the world, which may or may not be the case, a variety of cards or both foreign and domestic, this is a great way for you to go. So for the most part, every country in the world has at least a slightly different online banking policy and services. So you really do need to do a lot of research just to make sure that the option that you choose is best supported by how you do your business and service. One of the other main ones is PayPal. It's a great way to go. They do charge a little bit of a nominal fee, but it is probably the single most trusted online payment service today. It's loved by both the people sending the money and accepting payments because it's simple, it's quick, and the chances of getting customers to buy from you online will increase dramatically if you do offer PayPal as an option. Some of the other payment options out there are Zelle, which is direct linked to the bank accounts, and Venmo, which Venmo is a great app. If you want to send money really quick and easy, it's a really fast way to send money. Again, offering people options. And then mobile payment. So the mobile payment market is one that's growing by leaps and bounds every year. It's only a matter of time before paying for just about anything from bills or goods or services to your smartphone. And this will be probably more the rule than the exception. And that's why it's recommended that small businesses start looking into these types of mobile payment options sooner than later. You're looking at things like Apple Pay, Google Pay, and again, going back to that contactless, using your smartphone and just holding it up and paying that way. Next is advertising. And I did touch on this a little bit in the last webinar that I did, but let's just highlight this again because I think it's super important right now. Sending emails free, creating a Facebook page is free, Twitter outreach is free, cold calling is free, publicity is free, referrals are free, but advertising costs money. So why is it that even with all these wonderfully low cost and free ways to promote your business, I contend that you must make advertising one of your core lead generation tactics. In my experience, people shy away from advertising not because of the cost, but because they don't know how to get results and they don't understand the long-term residual effects. That's just what I have found in my 30 years of experience. But I want to tell you, when done effectively, advertising is an essential part of your business mix because advertising is the only medium you can control. So if you want your message to hit on the day a product launches or an event's about to happen, this is the only vehicle where you literally can control it. It allows you to target ideal customers only. Targeting capabilities have advanced so much in so many mediums that when you want to match your advertising message to a certain audience, it goes much farther and easier these days than in the past. Advertising creates awareness for your content. Obviously, the force that drives a great deal of conversion and trust building these days is in educational content, for example, ebooks, seminars, blog posts. So advertising is a great way to help get that content found and consumed once you've gone to the effort of actually producing it. It adds credibility to your message. So every time I run advertising, people comment that business must be going well. I don't know if you hear that, but I hear that from my clients all the time. The perception that you can afford advertising is often enough to sell and resell prospects and customers alike, and makes it easier to get attention to your entire message. And then lastly, advertising amplifies everything else you're doing. So when you're using advertising to create awareness for your content, you automatically create more awareness for everything that you're doing. So journalists find companies that advertise, referral source, remember, companies that advertise, people, I'm jumbling this one a minute. Companies that advertise, people and follow friends from ads, and employees can point to well-placed ads as a source of pride in place that they work. So sorry I jumbled that one a little bit, but basically what it's saying is it's underscoring everything else that you're doing. And it's, you know, for example, through your messaging and branding, whether you're hiring, promoting your product or service, by advertising, it just is underscoring everything that you're doing. So thanks for your patience while I hop through that last one there. Social media. Oof. Social media has changed tremendously. It refers to websites and applications that are designed to allow people to share content quickly, efficiently, and in real time. While many people access social media through smartphone apps, this communication tool started with computers, and social media can refer to any internet communication tool that allows users to broadly share content and engage with the public. Businesses and social media. Here's some key points to know. Social media marketing is fleeting. And so, for example, bear with me here. By its nature, social media is a short attention span media. You have to catch their attention as quickly as they're scrolling through dozens of posts at a time. So Copy can be harder to fit in and get their attention grabbing. So it's, so for example, you got to be in and out. So you got to catch them within that first couple of seconds, you know, unlike a newspaper ad that's going to sit there and they may find it eventually. Like, your message has to be in and out. Next is, you must be active on social media. So one of the biggest mistakes retailers make is that they create these platforms. So they'll create Facebook and maybe an Instagram, maybe a YouTube, maybe a Twitter. They don't do anything with it. You know, if you have it, you actually have to use it and use it daily. And I know that seems like a lot, but that's how it's meant to be used. That's how you stay relevant, top of mind, and like it said, instantaneously get your message out. Focus on the customer. So another big mistake retailers make is to use social media to talk about what's important to them rather than talking about what's actually important to the customer. So, you know, it's focusing on what their needs are. Again, if you go back to what I was saying about thinking outside the box, finding out where your customers are today, what their needs are, and make sure your messaging is actually focused to them. And then images are key. So another thing to consider is that the most commonly shared content on social media is an image. So it's a good idea to include an image with all of your posts. So, and video. If it's not an image, a static image, it really should be video. And this will dramatically increase your chances that one of your followers will share your post on your network. And this will help increase your, you know, followers. So it's, you know, it'll take a little bit of time, but the more content you put out there, you know, make it relevant, and the more followers you'll actually have. And they are, the different types of social media platforms that serve ads are social networking, so like your Facebook, your LinkedIn, your Google+, microblogging, which is also your Twitter and your Tumblr, photo sharing, which is going to be like your Instagram, your Snapchats, and your Pinterest, and then video sharing, which would be like your YouTube, your Facebook Live, so your Facebook Live, Periscope, and Vimeo. And those are going to be the main ones that people use. One that's not on here that is growing legs, and it really should be included, and I actually didn't think this would happen, but TikTok for business is really, really taking off. And when I talked about how you can get your employees involved, boy, what a great way to get them involved, because a lot of them, if they happen to skew younger demographic, they know TikTok, they know what's creative, and it doesn't just mean it's got to be silly. There's really creative ways to use TikTok and TikTok for business, and I know that when you sign up, they are giving a bunch of a few $100 credits to put towards Facebook business, so it's something to look at. And why else is it important for social media? 3.725 billion active social media users, and there's over 2 hours and 22 minutes a day on social media. That's actually a 2019 number. It's even greater today. And on average, most people have about 7.6 social media accounts. This is why it's critical and important for you to be in that space. This one's really great, and it kind of goes back to thinking outside the box, but a little bit of a deeper dive, and this is reinvention. So here's 7 powerful tools for reinventing you and your business. So the first one is create a vision for yourself and your future. Change means reinvention. So we must take back control to ever reach our full potential, right? Yes. So however, the most successful entrepreneurs don't wait for life traumas for inspiration. They see every day as a day for reinvention and using their power to its fullest. So yes, if you're not one of those people who have been leading the charge, it's not too late. We just have to reinvent. So the first thing on here is create a vision for your future. The imagination is a machine that has no limits. If you can imagine something, then you can make that something happen. The more imaginative your vision is for your next level, the more you can actually kind of will it into being. The more thought you put into the vision, the more real it becomes. The mind will naturally begin to see potential snags that will need to be worked through. So yes, of course there'll be snags, but never see these potential snags as stop signs or roadblocks. Envision yourself around them. Doing this only makes your vision smarter. So some people have vision boards. I tend to write a lot. That's my visual. And so when I started 11 Marketing Consulting, I just started to write what my vision looked like. What was this going to be? How was it going to happen? And by actually taking those steps and doing that, really helped a lot. And although, you know, you've done business a certain way, I implore you to, you know, make new notes again, create a new vision board, and look at what that might look like in today's situation and landscape. The next thing is make it real. So writing something down, like I said, can actually make it happen. So when you see it, it's almost like you're holding yourself accountable for that. And one of the things that you may find when you're writing is, again, some roadblocks or potential roadblocks. But you can get around those. There's ways to get around them. And unfortunately, a lot of people stop at this phase because they just think, oh, I can't do it. It's going to be too hard. You know, I can't make that happen. I'm here to tell you it can happen. The next thing is to change your language. And so maybe the way you've always talked to your customer base, or how you approach the way you speak about your business, and it can be figuratively and literally, will also help you to reinvent your business. So if you've always said, let me think of a great example, well, going back to the food trucks, you know, who could have ever guessed that that would be part of the business plan and marketing plan? And so by just changing the way we spoke about our products and services and launched it into how now we speak about focusing on neighborhoods and bringing the food to them, and that's changing that language. Again, that leads perfectly into changing your approach. So reinvention is a transformation into a new form of yourself and your business, and it always requires change. Change, I know, is hard, but it does require change. And to get somewhere new, you have to do new things. And you cannot use your same old routines and patterns and expect a different result. So when you change your habits, you'll immediately see results. And I'm telling you, even that smallest change, you will see results, whether that be through advertising, social media, a new product or service, or just how you do your business differently. You will see those results immediately. And once a certain level of success becomes second nature, there's no motivation to change our habits. So that makes it easy to become lazy. We don't want that to happen, right? So start something new and reinvent yourself, and you will have a new look and complete transformation of your report. So be willing, be bold, and take risks, please. Create workable tasks. So by changing your approach, you may feel overwhelmed. You can't let that happen. As I've said before, and if you've heard it, I apologize, but you can only eat an elephant a bite at a time. You know, sometimes change seems enormous. It seems like that elephant. If you think about having to eat that elephant at once, you just can't do it, right? But if you take a bite of it and make it snackable, you will be able to accomplish your goals and changes. Consistent reminders. So look, it's never easy, it's not always smooth, but you will encounter some resistance, not a problem. What you need to do is just don't let yourself slip into old habits, and just, you know, if you need to create a board that says, you know, what have you done that's new today? Have you posted social media today? You know, set up, you know, on your cell phone a reminder, or in your calendar, and remind yourself consistently to do these things. And then lastly, repurpose yourself. To reinvent yourself, you have to take who you are and what your business is and give it a new definition, a new approach, and a new purpose. So repurposing is transformation in action. Got that? Repurposing is transformation in action. We cannot grow our business unless we grow ourselves. So, you know, that's really important in our businesses and services. Yes, it's our business and service, but we are the people behind that business and service. And unless we are willing to change ourselves and push ourselves, you know, we're really going to struggle to be able to do that for our business or service. So, you know, it's, I challenge you, again, take one bite of that elephant, just pick one thing and push yourself. And what you're going to find is once you make that start of reinvention, it just continues and snowballs. And if you take all these steps, there's no reason you can't get to where you want to be and actually stay top of mind and, you know, stay in business and be successful. Another thing is branding. So this is really important, you guys. It's super, super important. I know you may think you understand what this is, and you very well may, but please indulge me in this one a bit. It's a way to identify your business. It's how your customers recognize and experience your business. A strong brand is more than just a logo or a sign outside your business. It's reflected in everything from your customer service style, your staff uniforms, business cards, and your premises to make your marketing materials and advertising. So, 4 steps to building a successful brand. Define how you want to be perceived. Do you want to be perceived as, you know, the most knowledgeable person, the most customer service friendly, the one that serves, you know, if you're a restaurant, the largest portion size? Do you want to be known as quick service? Do you want to be known as, you know, the person that, you know, the food's okay, but boy, you know, the price was great. So think about that, how you want to be perceived. The next thing is organize your business based on a promise. So keeping that promise will set you apart from your competitors. And this implies that you're doing something more than what they're doing. So, hey, listen, you have to stand out more than ever. You want to be the person that they go to for the business or service. So for example, the restaurant that wants to be recognized for its unbeatable prices, that is, for example, will have to find a way to maximize the number of customers served per table in one evening. So the margin per individual customer will be less, but the number of customers will make up for it more. So in other words, your brand will be greatly influenced by the winning formula that you base your business on. So for example, if you're known as fine dining, you don't need as many customers. You just need to be known as the fine dining place, and you'll have a larger price point. Next, communicate your promise. So all of your marketing material, from the colors of your logo to your website text, must be developed as a function of this promise. So what you say on Facebook or LinkedIn must be aligned with that message, and as much as it is the decor of your premises. And it's at this stage of your brand that your brand becomes central to your advertising campaign. So what's more, your ads will even be more effective since you'll have a clear message to convey. So I'm working with somebody right now who is a certified personal trainer, and she got certified. She wants to start a brand. We came up with a name for it, and we are in the logo phase. We're building, you know, the color scheme, and what does she want that to look like? What is her niche? Is her niche children? Is it older people? Is it, you know, a certain group of people that she's targeting right now? And so in every single thing that she does moving forward now, she has to communicate that promise of her business model. And then the last one is be consistent. After defining how you want to be perceived, then organize your business based on this perception and communicating this promise. Be consistent through every single thing you do. And the idea here is to develop trust. Your customers must no longer see your brand as a promise, but actually as that reality. Consistency is often the hardest part, but the one with the greatest rewards. And over time, a well-managed brand stops becoming a company promises and increasingly becomes a customer expectation. I don't know about you, but there are certain stores that I go to all the time, and they have promised me an experience. And I will go there time and time again because that is my expectation. And those are the people that I want to continue to do business with. Here, a few things I want to go over. It's never too late to start branding your business. Use these tips to differentiate, target, and communicate. More importantly, to stay ahead of the competition. I can't tell you how many new clients that I've taken on that we have had to create a new logo for. And the reason being is a lot of times their logo doesn't even represent what they do, who they are, or what they want to be. And that's okay. Maybe it was good when you started that business. But if your logo doesn't tell what you do or give you a really great idea of what you do, it's time for a new logo. And color is also super important when you're doing that process. And if you need help with that, there are places online where you can do that. There's graphic designers that can do that. I know people that can do that. So if there's something you need help with, let me know and I can direct you there. Understand who your customer is, but don't try to be everything to everyone. So if you are let's say you're a jewelry store and you carry, you are really known for your engagement rings, okay? So you are the store that everybody goes to for anniversary bands, wedding rings. Don't try to be that person that sells the trendy bracelets and all these earrings and, ankle bracelets and watches and watch batteries and watch repair. Just really know who your customer is and really hone in on that. Find inspiration from other brands, but don't rip them off. Look at Nike, just do it. Concise, simple, find inspiration in what they're doing. And, obviously you can't do the swoosh or things like that, but, go ahead and look at what a competitor is doing and see if there's parts of that business model that you can somehow make your own and incorporate into how you're doing business. Create a brand slogan or tagline, but don't make it too long. I think this is really important, and it's something that is really great in all of your collateral, your marketing material, your social media, your advertising. And it's, even when you're, let's say, for example, a hashtag, make that one of your hashtags so that when, people are following you, that hashtag is brought back right to you. So for example, I'm 11 Marketing Consulting, simply strategic solutions. Simple, rolls right off the tongue. So if you don't have a tagline, definitely that's something you want to look at. And again, that's something we can help you with. The next is research current trends. So, it's important that you stay on top of your game. There are trends in every single business. Technology is evolving, parts are evolving, services are evolving, styles are evolving. And so if you're not staying on top of that, you're going to be late to the game. Somebody's going to want to do business with that person who has the latest and the greatest. And, it takes time to do that, but it's a really important part of your business that you should be doing. Determine your brand personality. So bland doesn't work too well unless you are marketing, flavorless food. So, it's gotta be something more exciting, right? So something should have, for example, should you be high energy or should you be careful? Should you be modern? Should you be traditional? Cutting edge or are you established? Fun or serious? Accessible or exclusive? So that's just some examples about when you're determining your brand personality. Stick with that, determine what that is, and don't try and stray too far from it. I think sense of humor goes a long way, even if you have a more conservative business, if you happen to be, a CPA or more of a serious corporate business. But people like to see fun too, so find a way to incorporate that. And again, if you happen to be on the fun side, don't get too silly. Reel it in and sometimes bring in more of that consistent or maybe sometimes more of a serious tone also. And then also develop a unique business culture, but don't go against your values. So, a unique culture can become part of your overall business branding and brand personality. And so what I mean by culture consists of basically how you're doing business. How do you treat your employees or your customers? Does your company value teamwork and collaboration? Is being family friendly, including generous maternity leave, a part of your corporate culture? And these can all become part of your business branding. So bringing your employees on board with your brand's business culture and values is going to be, really part of your long-term success also. So it's, that business culture is really important. And then trademark your brand. Not everybody needs to do this, but if you have something that you think somebody could rip off, I encourage you to trademark your brand. You don't want to put the trademark logos on everything, but I just think it's really important. Fortune Cooking is a brand that we have, we trademark so that nobody can steal that brand from us. And you can do this simply by filling out a trademark application, and you can literally do this through a site like LegalZoom. It might be $300 to $500, but if you have a brand that you need to protect, go ahead and secure that. Use a consistent voice, but don't change it too frequently. So in addition to your visual style guide, use a voice for your communication as a brand. Is your voice casual or professional? Again, is it fun? Is it energetic? Is it, what is that voice? And something to consider, like if you do blog articles on your website in first person, second person, third person, what kind of voice does that person have? And this brand voice will determine the fit of your brand personality the best. So this will help you create a compelling story brand and your associated messaging with that. So that consistent voice, and again, use that throughout everything that you do, whether it be the way your store or is decorated, to collateral, to all of your sites. And lastly, boost your brand. Sorry about that, but don't be too shy about it. So once you have your brand name, your slogan, your logo, your story, make sure to promote it. The prettiest logo won't help you at all if you haven't promoted it or boosted it. So build a clean, user-friendly website. And this is another thing, and we're going to touch on in a minute, but having an up-to-date website, user-friendly website is super important. And you want it to clearly explain what your business does for the consumer. And remember to include call to action that points people in the right direction. So buy now, schedule a call, sign up, all these things that will tell them what to do. And develop a marketing plan and implement it. So the foundations of a digital element and brand strategy should include consistent marketing, social media marketing, email marketing, and paid advertising. And building your business the right way, doing all these things from the beginning is one of the best, most fundamental things you can do for long-lasting growth. Okay, website and e-commerce. Okay, and we're about wrapping it up here, gang. So the web is one of the most and best, most cost-effective ways to market your business. And for this reason, it's very important that you update your website. You want to keep it relevant, fast, and safe. And trends in web design change almost daily, so it's important for you to keep up with them. So key factors in your website. So for example, visual appeal. The appearance of your website is a direct reflection of your business. And so first impressions are vital to portraying this vision. So it's critical that you design, or redesign your website regularly to stay on top of the latest trends. Likewise, if your site looks outdated and structured poorly, potential clients may subconsciously think, oh, they're not up to date, they don't know what they're doing. And so they may not want to do business with you. So your website should highlight your products and or services in a positive light that encourages visitors to find out more about you, which obviously will potentially lead them to hire you or purchase your products or services. And your website should also be designed to look nice and be easy to navigate on multiple device types, tablets, mobile, laptops. If your website can't do that, you need to get with your developers and make sure that happens. Really, really important on that one. The next thing is security. So you do hear stories all the time about websites getting hacked. To protect your website and your email from getting hacked, one of the most important things you can do is make sure your website software stays up to date. Another consideration is your hosting account. Make sure you're hosted with a reputable company that cares about security. Sometimes there's some extra hassles that come along with security, but trust me, they are worth it in the long run. The next thing is content. First impressions may be mostly controlled by the overall design of your website, but that's just the beginning. Once you've grabbed their attention, you need to further interest them with great content. Guys, this is really important. You have to have stuff that's beautifully done, written, photographs, blog posts. So please, I beg you to do this one. And when updating or redesigning your website, this is a great opportunity to fine tune that content. I'm not saying you have to scrap everything, but you know, you can keep the core stuff, but maybe you need to update it, modernize it, switch out photos, things like that. And also when you're doing this content, keep it simple, on target, and effective. Remember, you only have about 2 to 4 seconds to capture their attention, so clean, concise, and it has to be really interesting content. Effectiveness. From a marketing standpoint, your website's effectiveness is obviously critical. You need to keep an eye on your statistics, see what visitors are clicking on, and how long they stick around. You can do this with a tool such as Google Analytics. It is really important to be monitoring these analytics. Sometimes you can back end find those analytics from your web developer, but Google is pretty much the standard in monitoring your analytics. If you don't have a Google My Business, for example, please set that up, and that way you can monitor the activity that's happening with, through them with your website. One great way to make your website more effective is to make use of a call to action. So you want people engaging, right? You want that traction. You want to get them in, get them on board. And so creating a link on your website for that call to action, maybe it's an offer, maybe it's a free consultation, whatever that might be, putting that call to action on your website is really important. So basically, in a nutshell, you need to make it easy for your visitors to find the end goal and for you to get them there through the website. Search engine optimization, or SEO, which you may have heard that before, but you need to update your SEO settings so people can find you. SEO rules are constantly changing, and you may have to read articles about it just to make sure you understand what to do. I'm telling you, this stuff changes every single day. So it's important to stay on top of it. If this is something that you cannot do, it is a service that we can help you with. There's other companies that do it, marketing companies. Sometimes the web developers can help you do it, but this is really important also. Google updates their algorithms. Again, hard to keep up with that, but they do change them. So every time the search engines make their own updates, your website is potentially affected. So you need to stay on top of these new iterations, and the longer you wait, the further behind you become in it. When you update your website's appearance and content, this is a perfect opportunity to update these SEO settings. These might involve reassessment of your newly updated content, but it may also involve updating the underlying code associated with the new design when you have your website redesigned. So, for example, your web developer can input code into that, your sites that can work with different platforms so that you can monitor your analytics, talk to your web designer about that. They should be able to help you with that. And then the next one is usability. Visitor trends change as technology changes. So nowadays, the majority of visitors use their mobile phones, which actually encourage use of your fingers to scroll. Another important usability feature has to do with navigation. Most websites these days use horizontal navigation, which is great on devices with larger screens. However, when viewed on a smaller device, such as a tablet or smartphone, the navigation system needs to adjust accordingly. So again, usability is really, really important. I would say, I don't know, it feels like more people these days use it on smaller devices than larger devices. Load times is really important. It's critical that you grab the attention of your visitors within seconds of their arrival to your website. Google is actually rewarding sites that load faster with better search results placements. You got that one? That one's really important. So the faster your load times, Google will actually move you up in the search. So there are many factors that contribute to load times, including image sizes, optimization of your website's file system, and even your web hosting account. So talk to your web designer again, or your developer, to find out more options to speed up your website. It may cost you more, invest in it. It's going to help you in the long run. And then the next thing is e-commerce. E-commerce, talk about pivoting your business. It is so important that you have e-commerce available on your website. Now, this may not make sense for every business or service. I understand that. But if it is something that you sell, please find a way to have e-commerce available. It's probably one of the biggest ways to pivot your business during this time. Again, this could be selling widgets. It could be selling sweaters. It could be selling prepackaged meals. I have a client that's going to be selling outdoor play systems and trampolines on there. Potentially you could be selling furniture. You could even have your own home business and sell your products or services that way. So it's really, really important that you look into e-commerce. Shopify is a really big one that a lot of people use. So, you know, with e-commerce, just know that transactions are increasing manifold. It's known that online sales have increased 70 to 80% compared to regular time. So during, you know, this pandemic, it's increased that much. U.S. retail e-commerce reached $211.5 billion. That's up almost 32% from the first quarter and 44.5% year over year. E-commerce has also accounted for 16.1% of total retail sales in Q2. And I don't have Q3 numbers yet, but that's up from 11.8% in the first quarter of 2020. I don't know about you, but I'd kind of like to be part of that, you know, that e-commerce, that, you know, 16.1% of total retail sales. And the COVID-19 pandemic accelerated the shift in e-commerce by 5 years. That's right. So this pandemic has pushed us forward in our e-commerce by 5 years, which is just incredible. And 63% of consumers are avoiding stores and are buying online. So again, your web developers can probably help you with this. Again, there's, you know, sites like Shopify that can help you. But that, you know, is going to be really important during this time. So we're at the end, gang. I want to thank you for the opportunity to present to you this webinar on how to, you know, essentially pivot your business and navigate this time. I tend to use gratitude a lot because for me, using the word grateful on a daily basis can help me through the toughest of times. And I actually will remind myself every day to name 3 things that I'm grateful for. And the other day was a tough day, you know, when there was new restrictions put on us. And I looked at that and I said, okay, my son's going to come home from college early. That was a wonderful thing. We're going to have meals together as a family again. That's a wonderful thing. And it's affording me a new opportunity to help more people in this situation through things like the webinar. So I sit in gratitude every day, and it just really, it's funny how it just changes your mindset when you sit in gratitude. The last thing I'd like to offer you for participating in this webinar today is a free consultation. I do that all the time, so that's nothing special. I just offer that service. If you want me to come in and talk to you about your business and see if I can help you in any way, I'm happy to do so. Anyone who schedules an appointment with 11 will get an Amazon gift card just by scheduling an appointment. You don't have to commit to anything. Just schedule a time with me and you're going to get an Amazon gift card. Anyone who signs with us gets a $250 amount off of their first month with us, and that is a minimum 6-month requirement, but $250 is $250. And then anyone who refers me a customer that signs with 11, so you don't even have to buy from us or work with us or do anything with us, you just refer us a client that signs with us, you're going to get a $100 Amazon gift card. I mean, who doesn't love free or a great discount? I do. I love that. So all you need to do is find me at any of these places, on Facebook, 11 Marketing Consulting, on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and then at our website at 11marketingconsulting.com. And you can also reach me by phone there or at 11julie@yahoo.com. I just want to say thank you for, you know, participating today, and hopefully some of the things I've shared can help you in some way. If you have any questions about that, again, on anything I covered today, I would love you to reach out to me and I'd be happy to answer any questions you have. So that's it, everybody. Have a great day and good luck with your business out there.